Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist. I am Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. Season 4, we are on episode 5 of our Quick Clip series, and today we are talking about real estate investing. Me and Wes were talking off camera about some different real estate investing. It's something that I'm passionate about and that I enjoy doing, and being in real estate sales is one thing, but once you start to get into the other side of it, whether it be rental properties, flips, construction, whatever it may be, it's a whole different ball game. It's fun, a lot of risk, a lot of reward. And I know me and you were talking a little bit about flipping off camera.
Yeah.
Um, and it's something that I do a lot of now, and I enjoy it a lot. So that I figured we could just kind of talk about it a
Yeah.
little bit.
And actually, some of our best reels have been your flips, stuff that you're
Yeah.
getting and turning around. Obviously, it's been really big on cable TV for a decade now or more, people doing this. But a lot of people don't have time to go look for houses and be able to buy it and then fix it all up themselves or be with the contractors. How does somebody get into this if they don't have the money to buy a house and flip it at this point?
So I used to, the old saying, it takes money to make money. Well,
Yes.
everybody's always said that. But that's not necessarily true. So if you find a good realtor like myself and you're looking to
Brave
invest
Beach
in real
Realty,
estate,
see our
yep,
ads.
yep. There's actually even I use some of my own funds, but I would be able to do what I'm doing right now even if I had $0 in the bank. So it doesn't take my money to necessarily be able to make money off flipping houses. Um, the hardest part, honestly, is finding the deal and having good contractors. Finding the money isn't as hard as you would think because there's plenty of private investors that if you can tell them that you can make them 7, 8, 9, 10% off of their money, there's plenty of people out there that are more than willing to give you money. I have 4 private investors right now that lend me money, and 3 of them started lending me money because I just posted videos of my before and afters of flips, and they reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you ever need money for some of these?" And I said, "Well, actually, yeah, I could always use more money to ramp up and scale what I'm doing." And so from posting videos on Facebook and YouTube, now I have 4 private investors that lend me money. So I don't have to go into my own funds, which takes a lot of stress and leverages your money so you can do other things with that cash. Um, so
So
if you
what I'm
have
hearing you say is it does take money to make money, but it doesn't have to be your money to make money.
So yes, it does. When I say it doesn't take money to make money, I mean it doesn't necessarily take your money to make other money. But yes, you have to acquire properties to flip, so you do have to spend money on them, but that capital does not have to be yours. And if you're not blessed enough to have a couple private investors, like I've been lucky to find along the way, as I did a few flips, there's plenty of private or private companies or real estate trust REITs that they package money together of investors' monies that put money into these real estate trusts, and they lend out money, maybe a little higher percentages, 10 or 12%,
Hmm.
but that's better than not having any money. So there's ways to get lending from corporations or bigger private investors, even if you don't know personal investors, and some of the money that I'm able to get access to, I actually just provide them with information on the deal that I have, not my personal finances. So you don't
Right.
have to have a great job and show income to be able to get some of this money. If you can prove that you have a good property, and now they'll have it appraised, they'll do the whole nine there, but you can still get this money and flip houses. You do not have to have a couple 100,000 in the bank to get started with
So
this.
let's clarify what you just said because I know numbers on podcasts and all that kind of can sometimes go over people's heads. So just to separate that out. So if you're the person doing the flips, um, you could get private investors, pay them what 7, 8, 9%, and get that money flowing, or they could go to these companies and get it that you were just talking about, but they're going to pay 10, 11, 12% to pay that
Yes,
back. On the
correct.
flip side of that, the investors themselves, obviously the investors that'll go on with the company that's putting these putting these deals together, they're going to get less than that 10, 11% because that company's going to take some off the top. The investor themselves is going to get maybe still 6 or 7 or 8, maybe lower. Or if you find somebody like yourself as an investor, you give that money straight to the person doing it. You may get 6, 7, 8% back straight from that money without going through the process of the company. Is
Right.
that correct? Did I explain that right?
That's correct. Yeah. So there's multiple ways to go. There's private money lenders, which is what my people that I go directly to. There's the larger companies that lend it. They technically call that hard money lending. They usually have like origination charges like a normal loan. You'll have an appraisal fee because they're going to want to make sure that they're if they're lending you money that the property. What they do is that they call it a ARV, a after repair value appraisal. So they'll go through the property, they'll look at the current condition, and they'll say, okay, but if this home was fixed up, it would be worth X amount. He's getting it for X amount. He's saying it's going to need X amount of repairs. This is roughly where the margins are going to be. Okay, this is safe. We're going to get our money back here. So they're going to hedge their bets if, a big company like that, but like a private investor, the people that lend me money, they don't there's no appraisals. They wire money to the attorney. I say, "Hey, this property's 200,000. Okay, we're wiring 200,000 to ABC attorney in North Myrtle Beach." It closes. I usually front the cost for the repairs myself, unless I'm low on capital because I'm doing other flips. And then maybe I borrow the money for the repairs. Okay, the repairs are going to be $30,000. I renovate the property. My contractor gets out of there. I take photos, get it on the market. It sells, it closes. I get the funds back. I figure out what I have in it, all of my sales costs. I have a spreadsheet that I use. It shows this is what it cost me to buy the property. These were my closing costs. This is what I'm all in to purchase it. Here are my repair costs. Here are my holding costs, taxes, utilities, insurance, um, dumpster, whatever I need during the flip. And then here's my sales cost, the sales price, closing costs, commission. And so all that's subtracted out on the spreadsheet. And then at the bottom, it's like net profit after all expenses. And so after everything's done, I'm like, okay, my profit was 26,000, 34,000, whatever it may be. And then I pay the investor back. As soon as that money clears my account, I keep my profit. And then I just keep on moving to the next one and just, keep on going. Once you
Hmm.
do about two or three flips and you get the process down and you start honing in on your numbers, I don't want to say it's easy because nothing is easy, but as long as you got the contractors and you know how to run numbers and you know what the property is going to be worth after you fix it, because if you mess that number up, you've messed everything
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
But if you can just fit, which a realtor, you can hire a realtor, then just pay them a fee if you don't want to do it yourself. Like, hey, I know, I'll give you the listing when we get it listed. Could you just tell me what it would be to like what is this home worth if I assume and I fix it up, and they'll be able to run, okay, this is the comps. Assuming this home was in great shape, this is the value of it. And then like, okay, that's my baseline. Now I have to reverse engineer all the numbers, repairs, blah 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 blah, run those numbers, and if it spits out that you're going to make a profit, then it's a good buy. And if the numbers don't make sense and it looks, close, then you don't buy it. But it's just math. It's really math, and it's very basic math. It's math that a fifth grader can do. You just have to make sure you do it right.
Right,
It's
right.
not as difficult. It's not as easy as HGTV makes it look, but it's not as hard as anybody that flips houses might tell you.
Yeah.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843 957 3872. That's 843 957 3872.
All right. Well, now it's officially time to introduce my book, Econ Sense, Economics for Everyday Living. You can actually find it by going to my website, econsense.us. If you go there, you'll see there are links to Amazon where you can pick it up, just a paperback, or if you'd rather have the ebook, you can go to Innovative Ink Publishing in care of Kendall Hunt Publishing Company, where you can get the print or ebook. And while you're on that website, you can also check out my other podcast, Econ Sense. Which I have several different series that go by. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Email me at west.the.economist@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Well,
Um,
and on the side of the investors, if you're trying to get into this, it makes sense to me to find somebody like you and invest some money just to get started in this process.
yeah,
Because it's not like you're competing directly with somebody once you go out on your own. I mean, because
right.
one person can't flip every house.
No, no, no.
So
And yeah, so for people that actually have funds, but they just don't have the means to do the flips. They don't have the contractors. They don't have, whatever it may be. They're not local to the area they want to flip in. Lending money to stack some more capital first might be a good idea. And then you get a little bit more money saved up, and you're like, all right, now I feel a little comfortable investing in this area without having to just lend money. So there's ways to do it on the investing side too, where you take all the risk out of being involved in the flip and the ups and downs of the real estate market, and you're just a lender. And no matter
Yeah.
what, your money is, no matter what, they owe you that 8%, whether their property makes money or loses money. So being on the lending side it's a safer bet. The profits are going to be less because
Yeah.
typically I'm making more
Well,
than 8% on my flip.
here's the
But
economist coming in, but the way you make and what we call is an economic profit. That's beyond a normal return on your investment is because you take risks. I mean, that's literally when you boil it down to investing, it's all about the risk.
yep,
And as the flipper, you're taking on the uninsurable risks. And so
yes,
you then should take home the lion's share of profits. If somebody's just lending you money and they're going to get it back no matter what, then you're not taking as much risk.
right, right. And people, I know, and I do like to always say though, when I say I take risk, it is a calculated risk. It's not just
Yeah,
I'm throwing money out there and
right.
hoping it sticks.
Well,
So it is a calculated risk.
and
Um,
in economics, we call it insured risk and uninsured risks.
mm,
And it's not even talking about getting into the realm you're talking about. It's the ones you can take out an insurance policy on, um,
right,
damage by a storm, fire, that kind of stuff. But there's always, as you take a house to flip it, you are always taking on some uninsured risk because you may miss something. Well, I don't think you ever do. You do pretty well at this, but somebody who's getting started, if you miss a structural issue, then you can't get that money back.
right, right. You do have to be careful. I mean, if you're not seasoned and you don't have a good contractor that can just walk in like my guy does, and he walks in and we spend about 10 minutes in there, and he'll look around and he say, okay, he said, I can do this for 30 grand. He walks in, we walk out, and he has a number. If you don't have a contractor that can do that, you need to probably have a home inspection done. See, I buy mine as is, no inspections, but you can buy them as is and still make it contingent on a home inspection if you're not very seasoned with the contractors. And then you can get that a report to a contractor, and then they can like, okay, this is a problem. This is going to cost more than you think, and then you can kind of, a little less risk that way. So there's always ways to kind of cover yourself.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it's more of a risk to not take any of these risks. You risk more by not taking these calculated risks in life and different opportunities. It's riskier to just do nothing and just keep going at the same rate you're going, in my opinion, because what you potentially miss out on is a bigger is riskier than not taking the chance at all
Yeah.
and actually trying to take a calculated risk that might be very rewarding. So for the people that are worried about jumping into something and taking that risk, I would say you're taking a bigger risk not doing it, whether it's flipping or any type of investing that you think will be lucrative, as long as you are calculated with it. You're taking a bigger risk by not doing it and just waiting.
I guess at this point we should put a disclaimer on this. We're not looking or soliciting any funds. We're just talking about real estate.
Yes, this is just free knowledge I'm
Don't
giving
be
away.
don't be writing us at dollarcentsgs@gmail.com saying, "Hey, I got this money I want to invest." We're not the people for you. So
Right, right,
this
right.
is not in any way a podcast looking to solicit investment.
Yeah, no, this was
Get
all
us
just
in,
giving
get
people
us,
advice.
make sure we don't get in trouble with any government agencies. We're,
Yeah,
we're
no, no, we're
I'm
not
sure we're in
soliciting
trouble enough with
money.
them by talking about
Right,
them.
right, right. Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next quick clip.
All right, guys, we'll see you.
When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit bobbyclary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you. mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments. They can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwesc@gmail.com. That's coachwesc@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.